Hi guys, welcome back to Desert M.S.E Consulting. My name as always is Chance Ribbs, and if you're here because you're searching for some capstone senior design projects. Well, quite simply, when it comes to senior design projects, most of which are assigned to you directly and you don't really have to come up with the engineering concept, what you have to do next is be able to lay out your project in a very concise manner for your professors to be able to take in and understand without having to dive into a deep dive into what your project is. So when it comes down to it, you want to be able to form out all of your different steps. So you're going to have the step of intake, concepts, discovery, planning, and acquisition. And along with that, you're going to have implementation. So within a senior design project, and I'm going to tell you right now, some universities are going to say it differently, but all of these steps are basically what every single senior design group does. So your intake is going to be you're intaking all of the problems. You're going to intake your goal. You're going to intake what needs to happen. So you're going to develop a concept around those goals. And from that concept, you're going to try to build out your project. During that time, you're going to have discovery. Your discovery is going to be issues in your project. You're going to have issues with the acquisition of hardware. You're going to have discovery of how the software in a certain system is going to work. And so you're going to need to take all that and itemize it down and relay that to your professor, because a lot of times in your senior design projects, you're going to need to relay this information in a very easy format. So real quick, let's switch over to the computer and I'm going to show you a quick form that'll help you in your senior design project. Okay? All right, so we're here on a business case guide. Quite simply, I wish I had this back when I was in college, but this this is what you're going to need to be able to fill out a good informational set for your professors. Again, we have our steps here: intake, concept, concept clearance, which is just clarifying with your customer how your concept is going to work. You're going to have discovery on there. You're going to have solution prioritization, which solution prioritization is going to be, oh, we found this issue, how can we fix it? Things like that. You're going to have planning of how you're going to implement or acquire systems to be able to push out your solutions. And so, of course, then you're going to have acquisition, like I just said, or you're going to have implementation. And since a lot of at the beginning of the year, you're going to be focused on steps 1, 2, and 3. Then, as you go through your planning, you're going to have discovery and solution prioritization. And with all of these, you need to be able to lay out in a very quick and easy copy and paste type of slideshow where you're at. And so if you're at the beginning of the year, you want to be able to intake and show your concept and just say, okay, we are team X, Y, and Z. We have received our request for a project from such and such company or such and such program, and we need to develop a solution for Z. And when it comes down to it, that's your intake. Then your concept is going to be something like, what is going to be your ideas for solutions? And you could have like 3 or 4 different concepts, and because you're going to probably be in a team, develop 3 or 4 concepts, some that might be off the wall, cuff kind of things, but develop a couple different concepts so that you can have something to pursue and something to think about. Then once you get through concept and your concept gets approved, they're going to have you go into either discovery and solution prioritization, because you're going to start talking with your customer, or they're going to have you start going into planning. And when I mean planning, they're going to have you start trying to implement your ideas into a easy to follow path so that they can acquire the material, because you're probably not going to acquire the material yourself. You're probably going to put in forms for request for acquisition. And if you acquire things, it's going to go back into planning, back into discovery. You're going to figure out how that acquisition is going to really work in the end. And then you're going to implement it. So with these, you're going to need to be able to take all of these concepts and be able to relay them back to your professor. And that's really important for you to get a good grade. So when it comes down to it, having this summary here for your intake and your concept is a very important process that you can take and be able to copy and paste into every single one of your slideshows that you need to present. And at the end of the day, you're going to need to present to a group of panelists. And a lot of this information you're going to forget at the end of the year. So having it somewhere is very important. So when it comes down to it, having this form and having forms around your concept, your discoveries, your planning, your implementation, your acquisition is an extremely important process in your senior design process. Because if you can take those and form them and be able to simplify them down into a easily to handle form that you can copy and paste into a slideshow, which also I have examples for, but if you're able to take those down and just do copy and paste into slideshows, change some text, fonts, sizes, and when it comes down to it, doing your presentation, you're going to take a lot of these bulletized processes. Maybe you'll elaborate on some of these processes, but ultimately you're just probably going to go through and list off the different bullets, and that'll be your time for presentations. So down below in the link, I have provided 3 free days of project management training that I put together myself from things that I think are extremely useful, including a PowerPoint type of deal. But it'll also show you how you can get forms like these. There's over 9,000 that you can get. So down below in the link, just put in your email. The only thing I will ever send you is those 3 trainings, and that's it. Okay, guys? So until next time, I'll see you in the winner's circle. Bye now.